Hello and welcome back. This is part 3 of the bathroom here at Top of the World. And well, I've spent 5-6 hours a few days ago prepping all this concrete walling and ceiling and everything behind me, as you'll see. Shadows, interesting, tell a lot from the shadow. I've welded all the joints in the corners, around the pipes, all welded up. I've got my laser cross marked up on here. Well, I say marked up on here, shining on here. Okay, so in an ideal world, what you do with the walling is you start at a door here, right, and you work all the way around. Are you dizzy yet? And you end up back at the door. Now, that's going to give me arseache. That is because I've got pipes on both sides. So I definitely can't start this way because I'm going to be cutting around these pipes with the full weight. Now, this doesn't sit on the floor. It's going to sit midway between the upstand and the top of the red line on the wall. So, I'm sure I done this the last way. This is the smallest beam I've ever done. And these rolls are really heavy. Now, somebody that was really good at welding and quite lazy, they would cut this in the corners and weld. That's not how it's supposed to work. In addition to that, I don't want to see my welds, which are okay, but not brilliant, going vertically up in corners and down. I just don't want that. I've got this in one piece. So, I'm going to actually unravel it in both ways, right? Check and recheck and check and check and check and recheck the best I can to make sure I'm meeting both doors. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to unravel it, glue this wall, stick this in the middle, wherever it is I find the middle, and screw a batten at the top to hold it in place. And then I can flatten out this wall, glue halfway down these two walls, heat this into the corner and then work back to the door. Because I'm working on my own and it's definitely the best way to do it. The most critical part is making sure that I've got the right place on the back wall. Otherwise, of course, you will unravel it and then find out you're short. That's bad. That's very bad. Okay, well that's the plan. Now we're all welded up and I've opened up the vent to get rid of all the smoke and stuff. Coffee, walling. And like the floor, once you start on this, you can't stop. You absolutely cannot stop. And I think it's going to take me about 3 hours to put this wall on by myself. Right, so I've measured from the door either side round to my centre line here, in both directions. Then what I've done is I've unrolled this in one way. There's my pencil, my pen mark. I've unrolled that one way and measured from that pencil mark to the end of this side, and I've measured from that pencil mark to the end of that side. Okay, so that pen mark is exactly in the middle, but I've got a bit of play, so I can go 40 or 50, 2 or 3 inches this way. So now my next plan is, I'm hoping that makes sense, is to glue this wall and out from the corner. And then I'm going to stick that on the wall and screw it at the top. The reason I can screw it at the top, of course, we got another wide piece to go around here. So I'm going to screw it at the top and fix that back wall on and get that back wall in and then go in either direction, which is the exact opposite to how I was told to install it. Well, I can't install it the way that in an ideal world somebody who knows better probably would want to install it, because you can't, because you'll mess up. It's too much weight in the wall for one person, and there's too many pipes to cut round. So we're doing the flat wall first, and we'll stick it on the flat wall and get it attached to the flat wall, and then we'll come out either side. What that'll do is that'll alleviate a lot of weight from the roll, stop it pulling back off the wall. Otherwise, what'll happen is you'll be forever going back, sticking it back onto the wall. Anyway, there we go. That's my thought process. And on we go. Glue. Lovely. Don't I just love it. You see how this shows up the air bubbles? That's handy, Harry. This shows them up better than my eyesight. This is what I ain't got none there. Right, all good. It's hard to see, isn't it? It's hard to see anything. Anyway, that's the walls on, that's the top border done, and that's the floor finished. Well, except that the drain for the sink. And I've tried to clean it and tried to clean it and tried to clean it, and I've been on the floor now for way too long cleaning this. Why? Well, I was sure there was a cat there. No cat there. I've had the hot water turned off because it's cheaper for the client. You know, I don't need hot water other than when I'm cleaning this. So I thought, well, I'll boil some water in a saucepan. No saucepans. Anyway, so that's that over with. My hands are like, I don't know if you can see, the water coming up from underground can only just be above freezing. I'm not doing it anymore. I've done a reasonably good job. It'll do for today. And I've welded above the door up there. Right, so you've obviously got the ceiling to go on and the door trim. Yeah. It's turned out alright. Horrible job. I hate this job. Anyway, it is now waterproof all over. So now, I mean, you can see just glue everywhere, all over me. Go and put everything on a hot wash, clean myself up, and then that's the gluing done. The lights, they're still on their way. I can't put this ceiling up until the lights are here. So as soon as they arrive, I can get the electrics done and get the ceiling up. So that's it for today. Alright, I brought a kettle back this morning. So now we're all clean. Clean and washed and washed and washed. It's so important to wash this to get all the glue off. Okay, so that's the walls complete. Now we're going to let me stand on my wet clean floor. We're going to find the holes, and I'll mark the holes on the door. There's the centre line. First hole's 315mm, second hole's 555mm from that centre line along there. And I mark the holes, put the brackets for the radiator on, get the radiator up here, go and drain the central heating system, fit the radiator, refill the central heating system. Oh, I make it sound really simple. That's hours to do that. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get this radiator back on here, and that'll help this room dry out. I'm forever in this doorway. Right, how have we got on? Well, I enjoy the putting it, the gluing. When I said it was a nasty job, I mean the gluing's just a nasty job. Anyway, it's always nice when you can start rebuilding. Before you can build anything nice, natural process says demolition happens first. The amount of women, family, friends, they've been devastated when I've bought a house and then completely destroyed it and rebuilt it, and I've built some fine houses. Yeah, I have. Anyway, so here we go. We've got the heating system. Anyway, we won't go into that. Heating system back up and operating. And fit the radiator. Now, I haven't painted the radiator pipe, and I didn't want to paint the radiator pipe until I start doing all the glossing. So the radiator pipe is not painted. And we've got the shower in. Does my floor work? Do all my falls run? Does it all run to the drain? Let's find it. Radiator in, and I know, anyway, it's hot. Cut the hole out for the light. Wet. Shower. Does it? How cool is that? Good job. So the entire floor runs to drain. The only thing that's missing is a squeegee. I don't think there was ever a squeegee here, there might have been, but anyway, there isn't one now. There we go. Runs to drain, drain runs. Right, we can get that little bit of grit and nasty stuff out of there. Get that trap fitted. And I've cut up the boards ready for the ceiling, and I've blocked me vent up. Oh, that works so well. The hot air is just gushing out of there. Right, so that's good. So now we've got some trimming to do. We've obviously got to cut this back neatly around the door, trim the door. The door still hasn't had its second coat, then we can start the painting in there. Sand down, paint the pipe, sand down, paint the pipe. And I don't want to put the toilet in until the ceiling's in. Just because I've got to get up here and fiddle around with electrics and lay the new electrics in for all the new lights. So that's good. Everything runs as it should do. And everything's clean. So now I've got hot water, I've washed all the walls down. And you see, and I can still see now I've turned the lights around. See the marks? They will all come off. You just got to wash them off. It's just glue. You give it a good wash down. It's just where you touch and yeah. Anyway, so we've got some heating in now. That's going to make a big difference tomorrow when we arrive. Everything will be dry and the glue will dry off. So it kind of makes, you can see now why I needed to move the floor drain and the shower. So if you remember, the floor drain was here, right in the middle. And the shower was there, right in the middle. So you can see how we split the wall now. Put the shower where the shower's going to be. Right, the drain where the shower's going to be, and the rest of the floor does run to the shower drain. And then of course we've got the pipes in there for the sink. I think you'd admit a stark difference to where we were at the start of the video. And we're a ways from being finished. Blow your mind, this will. Anyway, that's what I do. Blow people's minds. There's been many of you who have commented age and wisdom. And the two definitely go hand in hand. With a lifetime of manufacturing and construction behind me, along with that comes injuries. I broke my neck. Well, when did you break your neck, Simon? A million years ago. I used to be a racing driver. Anyway, so before the Harms devices were invented, if you came off the track, right, and I definitely wasn't immune from coming off the track. In fact, sometimes I used to spend more time off the black stuff than on the black stuff, much to my brother's frustration. In any case, not only do I have a broken neck, which means if I spend any amount of time looking up, I pass out. I also have a broken back, a fixed back, a back that's had surgery. So, as a young man, what you do is you put up your drywall and you're working up above and you're measuring and cutting and all. Well, you get to a certain age, you can't do that anymore. So you have to think, right? And that comes back to that wisdom. So behind me is the ceiling, which I've laid out on the floor and I've marked for all the holes, the lights, ooh, the vents. Nearly smacked myself in the eye with that, been a good start. So the first thing I've done is, this is the biggest hole, and I've positioned this directly underneath the electrics coming into the room for a reason. Once you've put up a ceiling, you don't want to take it down. Do you need access to that specific point? I'm hoping not. I am really hoping not. But if I do, I've got a vent that I can remove from the ceiling. So I put that right in the middle of the room. I don't know if you can see down there. And then I've marked out for all my lights. I've used this hole as a test bed for my lights to make sure I'm on the right track. And there's the main vent. The sun. No way! What a weird coincidence. I haven't seen the sun in months. I've got to show you the sun. Is it going to come above the horizon? I don't know. I don't know. Look at that. That is the sun. Can it peak above the horizon? Possibly. What's the date today? 4th or 5th or 6th of January? Yeah. We've gone through our darkest months. Darkest months is November and December, 24 hours of night time. And you can see it's not night time. Right, but better than that, that could be the sun coming. Which means if that's the sun coming up, we're 16 weeks away from 24 hours daylight. Anyway. So that's my holes cut. Not only was that easy, keeps the mess out of the finished room, and there's a shadow. Look at that. Right, the sun. You might think it's a bit mad. No, no. When I first come here, about February, March, you see all the locals outside in their deck chairs, right, having their little fire, drinking their coffee from their flasks. And you think, well, they're all mad. No, you don't see the sun for months. So when it comes up, you need to be out there in it. A lot of depression in the winter. Not for me, too busy to worry about being depressed, but if you weren't busy, you could get depressed. Right, there we go, peppered the ceiling in the room where I can easily clean up the mess. And we'll put these up now. So this one's the central vent, and the other 6 are the lights. Alright, let's go put it up. I'm not sure if that's the actual sun or whether it's just nearly there. Yeah, anyway, it's a lot more than I've seen in a long time. When did we last see the sun? Mid-October, late October, yeah. So that's the first sheet out. Now before I put in the second sheet, I've got to bring all the wires through to the holes, check the vent, make sure I've got access to the electrics, and do all of that before I put the second sheet up, because that'll be the last time I can get into that space. Oh, and connect the vent. For those that have been here for a while, you'd have seen this plastic many times before. Consumables. Price in your consumables, people. Right, here we go. In our little plastic cubicle. We're all plasticked off. Why? Ceiling's up. Ceiling's up. Ceiling's up. First fix electrics are done. The vent is done. And now I'm masked off. Why am I masked off? Well, because I'm going to plaster the ceiling and I'm going to paint. And I don't want all the hard work I've done wrecked, obviously. That would be silly. Right. There we go. So where have we got it to in here? Right, well, we've got the shower installed. And I'm pretty sure I've shown you all the lights installed. And we've got the pipes prepped ready for painting. We've got the doorways prepped ready for painting. The toilet's gone away for cleaning. And yeah, that's just the static dust on that. So all I've done so far is just cut in everywhere where I've repaired. There was a big crack in this wall. I repaired the crack. And I've put something in there that's going to allow me to see if it opens up again. And I've removed the handrail. Now, pretty much everywhere, there's the old handrail bit, so I've got to go back to the factory for cleaning up. But there's some repairs to be done there. I've removed all the handrail. I've got to put in a newel post and banister and railings there. But I'm just prepping it for paint. So now we're ready, really, for covering the stairs with the plastic and then going for a full 3 coats all over. And only after I've done that will I make an attempt to start work on the floor. And I've only got to do the hallway and then we're done. So we're going to finish the bathroom with the toilet and the sink, have a clean up in there, that's that room done. Except we've still got no electrics here. And then we've got to have 3 coats of paint, walls, ceiling, and then sand up all the woodwork, put in a newel post, balustrade in, and varnish throughout. And I'd like to tell you I'd be back on it tomorrow, but I won't be, because I've got trials now. Tomorrow's our first day of logging. Well, I'm assuming we're going to start tomorrow because they've also cleared the roofs of Stowe at the Big Degord, which is the village hall, and I've got to go and take the tractor and clear up all around that. So, but either way, we're going to start logging tomorrow. So it's Saturday today. Well, we'll be back here next week. Well, that wrapped that up for today. I thank you all for watching. If you like the content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, or consider it if you're not already. We'll catch you on the next one, which is logging. Bye for now.